You can also simplify fractions using the upside down birthday cake method. To do that, you do it just like your normal birthday cake method where you put the numbers side by side, so 72, 108, and you're putting them again in your L using your divisibility rules. We're going to use our divisibility rules. They both end in even numbers, so we're going to go with 2 first. I'm going to use the shorthand method of dividing through. So I'm going to take 2 into 7. 2 goes into 7 3 times. I'm left with 1 left over. 2 goes into 12 6 times. And then we'll go 2 into 10, and it goes 5 times. We have no leftovers, so then we go into 8. 2 goes into 8 4 times. We can still take a 2 out because they're both even. So we'll do our next layer. Write our 2 out. Again, using the shorthand method, 2 goes into 3 1 time. We have 1 left over. 2 goes into 16 8 times. Going into 54, 2 goes into 5 2 times. We have 1 left over. 2 goes into 14 7 times. Alright, 2 no longer works since this is not an even number. Let's check our 3. Remember, our 3 and our 9 are our numbers where we add our digits. So if I added 1 and 8, you would have 9. 2 and 7 also make 9, so 3 works. 3 goes into 18 6 times. 3 goes into 27 9 times. These are both still divisible by 3, so we can take another 3 out. 3 goes into 6 2 times. 3 goes into 9 3 times. So your reduced fraction for this one are these numbers right here, 2/3. It's important that you keep your numerator on the same side and your denominator on the same side. I'll show you another example. Okay, was 32 and 60. So we put them side by side. They're both even, so 2 goes into there. 2 goes into 3 1 time, there's 1 left over. 2 goes into 12 6 times. 2 goes into 6 and 60 3 times. And then 2 goes into 0 0 times. Again, both even, so we can use 2 again. 2 goes into 16 8 times. 2 goes into 3 1 time. There's 1 left over. 2 goes into 10 5 times. Oops, that's a bad 5. 5 times. Okay, not evens. 3 won't work because 3 isn't divisible. 8 isn't divisible by 3. 4 won't work because 4 doesn't go into 15. 5 won't work. 6 won't work, and 7 won't work. So our reduced fraction on this one is 8/15. Alright, we can also do it with bigger numbers. Our 146 over 280. Again, even numbers. 2 goes into 14 7 times, no leftovers. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 2 goes into 2 once. 2 goes into 8 4 times, and 2 goes into 0 0 times. These are not even numbers anymore, so let's check our numbers. 7 and 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's not going to work. 3 isn't going to work, 4 isn't going to work, 5 isn't going to work, 6 isn't going to work, 7 isn't going to work, 8 isn't going to work. So this is what it's going to be, 73 over 140. I'm going to show you this one last time using this example and writing the steps out. So step 1, you're going to set up your first layer. So that's going to look like this. Remember, you need to keep your numerator and your denominator in order, otherwise you're going to have some trouble. Step 2, you are going to use your divisibility rules to take out the common term. So on this one, they're both even, so we're going to start with 2. So 2 goes into 9 4 times, 1 left over. 2 goes into 16 8 times. 2 goes into 12 6 times. 2 goes into 8 4 times. Again, both even. So we're going to make another layer. So this is repeat until no common terms remain. So I'm going to keep using my divisibility rules to make sure all the common terms are out. So again, 2 is going to go in there. 2 goes into 4 2 times. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 2 goes into 4 twice. Again, they're still even, so I can take another 2 out. 2 goes into 2 once. 2 goes into 4 twice. 2 goes into 3 once. There's 1 left over. 2 goes into 12 6 times. Again, both even. Continue to use a 2. 2 goes into 12 6 times. 2 goes into 16 8 times. Again, still take the 2 out. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 2 goes into 4 8, or goes into 8 4 times. So we repeat it until no commons remain. And then your last step, step 4, is rewrite your fraction with the terms on the bottom. So our fraction would be 3/4. In more advanced math, you can also do the same thing if you have variables out there. So I'm going to reduce it with variables. So 275 x squared. I can do 425 x to the 4th. Usually when I'm dealing with variables, I take the variables out first. And you want to take the greatest amount out. So x to the second is the most I can take out. So x to the second, so that's going to be 275, because that's going to cancel. 425, I'm going to be left with x to the second, because remember when we do that, we're really subtracting our variables. Okay, then we can move on and do our next layer. Of course, we're going to use 5, again using the shorthand method. Again, we're using the 5 and using the shorthand method, so 5 is going to go into 27 5 times. There's going to be 2 left over. 5 goes into 25 5 times. Going over to 425, 5 goes into 42 8 times. There's 2 left over. 5 goes into 25 5 times. Again, we can take 5 out. 5 goes into 55 11 times. 5 goes into 85. 5 goes into 8 once. And you're left with 3. 5 goes into 35 7 times. These are both prime numbers and nothing goes into them. Oops, I forgot to drop this x squared on each one of those. So our answer would be 11 over 17x squared.